I rediscovered something on this journey. When I turned that corner, it wasn't only a pride of lions that was found.
That must be the most rewarding feeling in the world.
It was a feeling that had been missing for a long, long time. I'm happy to say that that feeling has finally returned. Now, I'm searching for the answer to a simple yet important question. Why? I'm confident that the answer lies somewhere between the wildlife and this ancient African landscape. Let's find it together.
Camp has been set up, spent some time with the locals, and it's time now for the first afternoon drive. Got about 2 hours this afternoon to explore this western section of the park, and I'm thinking it would be nice to head past Mulutswa Hide closer to sunset. Let's see what's happening out here.
It feels like I'm here for the first time all over again. The smell of flowers have been replaced with dusty nostrils. The drop in temperature at dusk carries barks of baboons through the entire Limpopo Valley. The energy has completely shifted with the seasons, and I'm all for it. The one thing that hasn't changed is the never-ending presence of elephants. I'm wondering if those are the same 4 bulls who move me to tears in the summer. The chances are slim, but the bushveld is more than capable of that kind of magic.
I woke up to lions roaring from the north, which is pretty much in another country. That's from Botswana, so we aren't gonna put our eggs in that basket. But what we are gonna do is head a little bit further west to a 4x4 route, which comes highly recommended. And of course, we'll see what we see along the way. Yeah, so my little site there is right by the entrance, which you'd think is not a great thing, but it's really not the worst thing because there's a lot of animal activity right here. Keeping the elephants out. Did a good job yesterday. That sun cannot come soon enough. It is 2 degrees right now. Can't feel my fingers, can't feel my toes. I think this is it. In terms of 4x4ing, not the most technical or difficult at all, at least in this season, but the scenery is just incredible. Heading back to camp now, and this afternoon our focus will turn back to the wildlife. So I'm hiding in my tent because it's become very windy. A neighbor of mine did let me know about some fresh lion tracks not too far from camp. No expectations, but fingers crossed. Everything just feels a lot harsher out here today. I can't help but keep comparing things to how they were 6 months ago, where it was a story of rebirth and things flourishing, whereas now all you can really see is pathways to little bits of water. It kind of tells more of a story of survival rather than flourishing. I can't believe this has actually happened. To be honest, when I arrived, they saw me long before I saw them. Cub got a little bit of a fright and moved off. Mother wasn't too happy either. She gave a few little low growls, so I instantly stopped, kept a bit of a distance. I'm about 30 to 40 meters away from them, and she just slowly relaxed. You can just see it in her eyes and her ears and her body language, just slowly blinking, looking at me, looking at them. Thanks to the gentleman at camp for the tip, and also thanks to Filio Steyn, the safari expert. He did mention that he was recently on the other side of the Limpopo River in Botswana, and that there were cubs denning there. This is most likely those same lions. That must be the most rewarding feeling in the world. I mean, that's the first full day. Those elephants just before them were quite magical as well.
8 years ago, I felt something which led me to this moment, right here, sitting in this tent. I can only describe that feeling as your heart skipping a beat before speeding up and slowing down at the same time. That's when I decided I wanted to feel that over and over again. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't become desensitized to it over the years. But today I felt it with those lions. The question is, why?
We are starting off the morning with this little river loop close to camp. Hopefully spot some lion tracks. If we're really lucky, hopefully spot some actual lions. There are certainly a fair amount of lion tracks on this road where I actually found them, and they're on top of my tracks from yesterday evening. I can hear them. I was about to show you their tracks. They are right here. They're just here to my right. Some of them are on the move. I think there's been a bit of a tussle before those roars you heard now. Family politics, I think. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. They keep looking back east towards where the first sounds of a scuffle came from. My guess, at least for now, would be that there was a foreign lion around and they had to kind of fight them off. The one female almost looks like she has a bit of blood around her backside. But wow, this has been pretty crazy. You can see the concern on their faces. They are not happy. They are very tense and almost looking a bit confused at times, like they don't know what to do. Also trying to not affect their behavior in any way. There's obviously something quite important going on. I don't want to get in between them and make sure I don't get involved. Alright, so they've gone down the bank towards the Limpopo River. I think they might just settle down there for the day. That's where they were keeping the tiny cubs. Could hear them just whining away through the bushes. Just incredibly grateful to see lions at Mapungubwe.
After an eventful and successful start to the morning, there was time to slow down and appreciate the little moments. Relaxing at Mazo Camp brings with it its own little moments, inspiring another short afternoon drive.
The plan for this afternoon is quite simple. I'm going to spend some quality time at Malutswa Hide. Hopefully it delivers as usual before going past the lions around sunset. Hopefully they're out and about.
I'm starting to see why I felt what I felt with those lions. It's not only the weather, the scenery, the smells, or the energy that has changed. Something has changed within me. I'm no longer afraid. The inner critic has gone silent, and it's made room for what the elephants taught me here 6 months ago. I only need one more day to make full sense of it. Tomorrow I go east, into the heart of Mapungubwe.
Lions are calling again, but so is the eastern section of Mapungubwe. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick loop around by the river here, satisfy my curiosity, and then from there take off towards the main section of Mapungubwe. Yes, there are some cattle here in Mapungubwe. They also have their passports. They are able to just come over the Limpopo River. So I don't think the treetop walk is going to be repaired anytime soon, if at all. But it's still worth doing the short walk to the end of it, just to see what the river's doing, or not doing. The difference that 6 months can make here is really just unreal. Botswana, Zimbabwe, South Africa. I'm at the Confluence picnic spot where there are some incredible viewpoints up on this rocky hill. The word that comes to mind when I think of Mapungubwe is ancient. There's a very special history here and you can feel it. It's in the rocky hills, the baobabs, the elephants. There's also a sense of mystery about it too. This is where the very first ancient kingdom in southern Africa rose, and not too long after that mysteriously disappeared. Gets you wondering, like, what actually happened back then? And as you think of these things, it kind of gives you the sense of being very small and insignificant in this world and this universe, but in a good way, because they say that that is the gateway to peace. Just sat here under a variety of trees next to the Great Limpopo River. And there's baboons scattered throughout them, feeding on fruits, seed pods, whatever it is. And there's impalas and kudu just picking up whatever they drop down below. Got the answer I was looking for.
Sitting underneath the trees on the banks of the Limpopo River is all it took. But I'll share my realization with you later on. Things have flowed effortlessly on this journey, and it's brought back a feeling of excitement. I think I know why. Before I leave, there's a tree I need to visit. A fig tree does not try to convince a baboon that it needs to eat its fruit. If that was the case, the baboon would become suspicious and find what it needs somewhere else. A fearful tree would create resistance for itself and everything around it. The tree simply offers its unique qualities to the world without even trying. It's not afraid. It trusts that the rest will happen and its seeds will be dispersed as, when, and how they need to. The sycamore fig tree now becomes a vital part of the ecosystem by being what it is without fear. It has meaning and purpose not only for itself, but for everything by being itself. A larger process of reciprocity is now in motion. It's found by giving without anxiously wanting anything in return. It flows and expands endlessly, much like this journey has. And if that fig tree had a heart, it would also be speeding up and slowing down at the same time. Mapungubwe in the summer or winter? Honestly, I can't decide. In the summer, elephants showed me how important it is to be authentic. The winter has shown me what happens when you truly are. Thank you, Mapungubwe. I'll be back again and again.